there, Johnny here for Forever Football, your Doncaster Rovers content, and welcome to the preview, the match preview for Doncaster Rovers away at Sincil Bank to face Lincoln City. Massive, massive, massive clash between two top teams. You know, we might be in fourth, but we've got the games in hand and the goal difference to go top of the league in the near future, especially if we beat Lincoln on Saturday, especially if we win that game. Don't forget, there's no watch-alongs anymore for the rest of the season. We're just going to be doing match previews and reviews, so stay tuned an hour or two after the match is finished for the match review. Now, obviously, you know, this is going to be a wonderful clash, top clash between two top teams, and we have to look at different things like the form book. We know the officials now. We have to look at different things like who's available for each team. So we're going to be looking at all of that. We're going to look at Appleton's statement on Doncaster. We're going to look at Lincoln's predicted team according to Lincolnshire Live. And also I'm going to be looking at my predicted team for the Doncaster Rovers and who I think is going to start. So, before we get started, make sure you like the video if you loved it. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another video. And for now, guys, let's have a look at what is going down. So, basically, in terms of what they're sort of saying here on the Lincolnshire Live preview, in terms of the last 6 games, form-wise, Lincoln win, draw, win, and then Rovers win, loss, win. So that's the last 6 league games form-wise. Lincoln are just a point better in form, but I personally believe we have the better form. I feel like the 1-0 win against Portsmouth for Lincoln was a great result. They picked up the 3 points. Don't have to be pretty all the time, but it has to be 3 points. So they picked up 3 points against a 10-man Portsmouth, and overall, I feel like Lincoln is still going to be a very tough opponent. But if we play the way we know we can play, and we keep cutting them down, we know it's going to be a very lively affair. We know it's going to be goals galore, in my opinion. And I'll get to my scoreline prediction at the end of the video. But in my opinion, Lincoln are going to be no walkover. They're not going to be any walkover. If we play the way we play, we'll get a comfortable win, but they're not going to be a complete walkover. We know it's going to be tough. We know it's going to be a lively clash. We know it's going to be very end-to-end at times, and we just have to be clinical with our chances, which is why I've gone with the predicted team that I'm going to show you in a bit, why I've gone with. So let's have a look at Lincoln's team news. Now, apparently, they were able to name a full bench during the Tuesday win at Portsmouth. No fresh injuries. Now, Theo Archibald is unlikely to be involved as he continues to recover from a calf injury. Now, Montsma was on the bench against Pompey after recovering from COVID, but given the form of Jackson and Walsh, the Dutchman may have to wait a little longer on the sidelines. Now, Jones, Anderson and Rogers will hope to be involved from the start, but it's no surprise if Appleton sticks with the side that started against Pompey. And there was an update, actually, after this prediction went up on the Lincolnshire Live, that Montsma is actually available for the clash. So, Montsma will be on the bench, in my opinion. I think that Jones, Anderson and Rogers will probably be on the bench as well. They are going to go with the team, and this is the predicted team according to Lincolnshire Live for Lincoln. Palmer, Ioma, Jackson, Walsh, Adoon, Bridcut, McGrandles, Grant, Scully, Hopper, Johnson. Loads of attacking threat, loads of defensive threat. We have to cut them down. We have to cut them down in this game. And it's going to be tough. 4-3-3, that's the way Appleton plays. Lincoln City I've got a lot of respect for, because under the manager Michael Appleton, they've done a really good charge. Under Danny Cowley and Nicky Cowley, they've done a wonderful job in getting 2 promotions in 3 years, from the Vanarama National League to League One. They're on the verge of the Championship now under the new management of Michael Appleton. He's really exceeded expectations. Lincoln were probably predicted to finish maximum playoffs at the start of the season, but I don't think anyone really predicted Lincoln to finish, you know, in the top 2 or in the top 4 at least. So, you know, Lincoln are really exceeding expectations at the minute, and I could see them getting promoted this year. I think this is their best chance at promotion this year, whether that's top 2, whether that's slipping into the playoff hunt or whatever. I think they'll get at least top 6, Lincoln, this season. I think they'll finish at least top 6. At maximum, they'll finish top 2. I think it'll be us and Lincoln going up and Hull slipping into the playoffs with their sort of inconsistent run of form at the minute. So, I reckon it's going to be us and Lincoln up automatically and Hull in the playoffs. And that's just me being perfectly honest. And I think, you know, Hull's going to have a tough time in the playoffs with Portsmouth, Peterborough, Charlton. Maybe Accrington slips in there instead of Charlton. But you know, I'd rather Lincoln go up automatically than Hull, because I think Lincoln would have a tougher time in the playoffs against those other teams. So I think for Lincoln, it's all about trying to get automatic as best as possible. If they do slip into the playoffs, the odds of promotion do drop compared to other teams, but if Lincoln finish third, then they are probably the favourites to win the playoffs, because they are finishing the highest out of the playoff teams. So I think Lincoln will get promoted somehow, some way, whether that be through automatic or the playoffs, but it's going to be interesting to see where exactly they finish. So Lincoln, for me, a very good, surprising side. Now, before we take a look at my predicted team for Doncaster, let's have a look at Michael Appleton's comments heading into this game. Now, he said about Doncaster, they're very good. They came through in a tight game in a 1-0 win at their place. We're talking about the reverse fixture with Ben Whiteman's goal. They probably edged the first half, but I thought we were really good in the second half when we pinned one right in. It's going to be a good game of football, a very different game to Tuesday and Saturday against Northampton. It'll be a bit more of an expansive game. Now, the referee of this game will be Darren Bond. Most of Bond's 17 games this season were in the Championship. There was just one League One game he refereed, and that was Ipswich's 2-1 win over Burton Albion. And in those 17 games, he dished out 57 yellow cards and 2 red cards. So I think he's not going to be lenient in terms of fouls. So we have to be careful not to stray any fouls or stray leg tackles that we didn't mean. We don't want to get too many people in the box. So it's going to be quite an aggressive, expansive, attacking, vibrant game. But it's not really got the referee to match it in terms of discipline. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting fixture, isn't it? Now, the odds, according to Lincolnshire Live, Lincoln win 21-20, Rovers win 23-20, and a draw 5-2. Now, this is the bit you've all been waiting for, my predicted team. So let's have a look at my predicted team then. So it's very much there's a few switches around here, and I'll explain why. So, starting off in the goalkeeper position, we've got Ellery Balcom. No surprises here. He's started every game since he's come into the club. Lewis Jones needs more minutes in the training field just to get that sort of mentality of number one. If Lewis Jones will be number one next season, we don't know that for sure yet. But, you know, whether Lewis Jones becomes our number one next season or not will be a sight to see. But I think overall, I think giving Jones more minutes to sort of, you know, reflect, get ready for the possible challenge ahead next season is going to be interesting. I think that Balcom's come in, he's done a wonderful job. So, you know, I couldn't have wished for a better goalkeeper, and it would be lovely to see Balcom stay next season on like a season on loan or something to give him more experience, which would be fantastic. Into the back four, and for probably the first time in months, we've got a proper back four in their actual positions for once. Halliday at right back, no surprises there. Brilliant. Attacking, defending, moves the ball quite well, can have a pot shot at goal if he wants to. He should have got a goal against Wimbledon, he should have got a goal. In the defence, in the centre-back roles, Andy Butler and captain Tom Anderson, again, no surprises there, absolute rock in that defence. And, you know, wonderful, wonderful partnership they're stringing together. Joe Wright's sort of slipped out of favour a bit since his injury, but, you know, hopefully we can get right back to full fitness and back in that centre-back position. And then James at left-back, again, no surprises there. It'd be nice to see James back at left-back. Halliday and James kind of play as attacking wing-backs and then inverted full-backs kind of... I don't know, it's like a kind of attacking and defensive role kind of thing. So... it'll be wonderful to see how they do in their natural positions if that's where they're playing. In the midfield, we've got experience mixed with youth. Matt Smith on one side of the midfield, the two midfield pair. Matt Smith, vibrant, attacking, playmaker, plays the ball well. And then next to him, the debuting John Bostock. Overall, experienced head, knows when to play the ball, good holding midfielder, and a good experienced veteran player to play alongside a youthful attacking presence like Matt Smith. Then Richards playing at cam. In my opinion, I think Richards again, physical, attacking and defending threat in the cam position, can have his pot shots from 18 yards like a Mesut Ozil or a Kevin De Bruyne type player. So, you know, overall, I'm not, you know, I've got no complaints with that. Then on the wings, I've got Taylor on one side. He can put in great crosses, good pace. Needs to improve. I think overall his game needs to improve. He needs to start having more man of the match performances on a consistent basis. But overall, he's doing the job right now. And then on the other wing, we've got Okunabiri back in his wing position, back in his natural position, in my opinion. Great build-up play, brilliant crossing ability, and overall a wonderful player. And then up front, debuting Omar Bogle from Charlton. 2 debutants in this. Of course, Sims is not playing until mid-February from what we've heard when he signed back. Obviously, he's still injured right now, so obviously he's going to come back in a few weeks. But overall, Bogle up front, I've got no surprises here. It can be a great goal threat. No surprises, it can be a great goal threat. So we need to get that guy firing. And I think this is the perfect game. A top-of-the-table clash where you cannot miss a beat. Then we go to the bench. Now, of course, we were told that Gomez could be available for the bench. I've decided not to risk it. I've gone with Jones, Amos, John, Wright, Greaves, Lakilo and Simio's on the bench. Simio's dropped for the first time. Now, of course, Bostock is very 50-50 according to an article for this game. So, you know, they could make the switch around and have Bostock on the bench, Richards and Smith in the midfield, and then Simio's at cam. That could be the situation they go with. But in my opinion, Bostock will start. I think that Simio's needs a rest. I think he's started every game he's come into. So whether that's cam or the wing, I think he's started. I think he's missed 1 game since he's come into the club. But I think he started nearly every one. So Simio's needs a rest. He needs a complete rest, and I think this is probably the game to do it. And then his technical ability, his agility, his pace. Bring it on for the last half an hour in the wing position for Taylor or Okunabiri, or maybe in the cam position and bring Bostock or Richards off, because they know they like to substitute Taylor Richards. But have Simio's playing at the wing or the cam and have that technical ability to keep the game alive in the last half an hour. Other substitutions they could make, they could bring on Greaves for the last 10 minutes or last 15 minutes. Maybe Bostock or Smith or Richards comes off for Greaves and maybe put Smith at cam or even Bostock at cam maybe, and have Greaves playing in that midfield role. They could bring on Joe Wright for the last 5 minutes in the right back position, or take off Andy Butler if he needs a rest. So there's a few substitutions they could make. Obviously, I don't think Lakilo is going to be seen in this game. I think he may start the next game against Oxford on the next Saturday. But in my opinion, I think that Lakilo won't play this game. I think Jones won't obviously play this game. Amos won't play this game. I think John will probably get benched. He won't play this game. I think it's just between Wright, Greaves and Simio's for me. I think Wright could play this game. It's between Wright, Greaves and Simio's for the substitutions. So overall, I think that's the 3 maximum substitutions I've made. Obviously, there's a maximum of 5 in League One now. So I think if I could throw in 2 bonus ones, maybe James or Butler off for John. Probably James. Knowing them, it'll probably be James going off for John. And maybe you could bring on Lakilo. Maybe you could. I think that the only substitution that may not make an appearance is Amos and Jones. Obviously, one big difference from the bench that you've seen is there's no Ed Williams. In my opinion, I believe he's going to go out on loan to a different club, in my opinion. I think that he needs minutes somewhere else for the rest of the season. He's not going to get any more minutes this season, especially since we're in a title race and we need nothing but our first team squad. So, in my opinion, Ed Williams is such a bright future, but I reckon he's going to go to somewhere else on loan for the rest of this season. I mean, that's just a prediction in my opinion, nothing confirmed yet, but I reckon he'll go to somewhere else. I mean, thinking of clubs off the top of my head, Scunthorpe, maybe they'd like a new cam, or maybe somewhere like Southend United may need a new player, or even going to non-league, maybe Barnet, Wrexham, Stockport, Wealdstone, Weymouth. They'd like some more attacking threats to get them in the right side of the table. So overall, I think that Williams will probably go out on loan to a League 2 or a non-league club, in my opinion. Nothing confirmed, but just my prediction. And then we'll bring in the 4th signing anyway, and hopefully we'll have that ready for Oxford or the next game after that, which I can't remember what it is. But I don't think. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we do have sort of our first team squad ready, willing, and able for the rest of this season, because we've got a tight fixture schedule and a lot of games coming up. So that's my team lineup. Now, what about my predicted scoreline to end the video? This is a tough one. This is going to be one of the toughest scorelines to think about, because if you think about it, I kind of predicted that we were going to win the first time round. We won 1-0. It wasn't comfortable, but we got the win in the end, and it showed what we can do as a side and what we could do against these teams. Lincoln will be up for this. I've got no doubt whatsoever that Lincoln will be up for this. This is a top game. They know the situation. They know it's going to be a top of the league clash. We know that whoever wins this is going to be pretty much guaranteed to be in at least the playoffs battle. Whoever wins this game will probably be in at least a playoff battle, but could be in an automatic clash as well. So whoever wins this is probably going to get a better chance at promotion, but I think both clubs will get promoted anyway. So in my personal opinion, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Rovers. It won't be comfortable, but I think we'll get the job done again. So, in terms of goal scorers, Okunabiri could be on there, Richards could be on there, Bogle could get his first, Bostock could get one, Smith could get one, Halliday could get one. There's too many goal scorers options, but if I'm looking on form, I'm going to go with Okunabiri and Bogle. I think Okunabiri scores an 18-yarder, and then Bogle gets one set up by a three-step goal, should we say. Pass from James, pass through from Richards, and then Bogle scores one-on-one. I think that's the kind of way we're going to do it. Maybe if he's too close to the goalkeeper, he might do like a cheeky little step over to take him out of the game, and then slot it into an open net. I don't know. That could be a scenario. You never know. You see the Okunabiri goal against Swindon, I think it was. Pass through from James, pass through from Richards, and I think, and then James, so the other way around, and then Okunabiri one-on-one just slots it into the bottom right, just past the goalkeeper as he slides down past the ball as it rolls past him. You know, I'm way too good at goodbyes, Sam Smith. But, you know, I think overall, I think we're looking at Okunabiri and Bogle, but Richards being a big part in both goals. So, there we go. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this Lincoln preview. Stay tuned a couple of hours after the match for the match review on Saturday afternoon. And for now, guys, my name is Aaron Chandler from Forever Football, and that, my friends, is full time.